Hey, basketball coaches and basketball players, today I'm going to talk to you about the different screens that you can set in basketball so that you can get yourself or your teammate open for more baskets. Let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check these out. Okay, so first what we have here is a player in the low post. We have a player on the wing and obviously our point guard or whoever has the ball plus a defender. A back screen is the first screen that we're going to talk about, and that is basically when we're setting a screen up along the back of that defender. At this point, player 5 would then cut towards the rim and hopefully be open for an open layup. This next type of screen is a corner screen, or also named a corner pindown screen. And what we are doing here is a player starting in the high post or maybe close to the 3-point line. And at this point, he's going to set a screen down for player 3. And player 3 is then going to use that screen. He's either going to pop up top or he's going to then curl towards the rim. This could also be classified as a corner pin down curl if he curls towards the rim. If he really wants to set this screen up good, player 3 would actually start heading in so that when player 5 sets that screen, he's able to pin player 3, the defender, on player 5 so that when he pops out, he should be wide open for that 3-point shot, or if he curls, he's going to be wide open. Now, just to continue with the whole pin down idea, a pin down screen is when a player from above the other player that you're screening for sets a screen down, a pin down screen, for player 5 in this case, who would pop up for, in this case, a 3-point shot or to the high post for a mid-range shot. Now, a pin down curl would be a pin down screen by player 3, and at this time player 5 would then curl towards the inside of the key where he would be hoping to be open for that shot. Now, a cross screen is when you've got two post players who set a screen across, in this case for player 5. Player 5 is then going to use that screen, come across, who may be open for a layup. Now, this can be done in the high post as well, but also this could be done if the ball's out on the wing and we have a cross screen for player 3 who's then going to cut towards the rim or pop out here for the reverse pass or for the 3-point shot. Now, this next screen is called a double ball screen, or you could call it a staggered screen, where we've got two players setting a screen staggered off of player 5, so that player 5 uses that staggered or double ball screen, and at this point player 3, the defender, is going to hopefully get stuck on either player 4 or 3, and player 5 should be open for that hopefully open 3-point shot. Now, this next screen is called the down screen. So let's say we have a defender down there. We would have player 5 set a screen down. So this is very similar to a pin down screen. However, a pin down screen starts on the perimeter while a down screen starts from the high post down to the low post, and player 3 would then pop off or curl in. Now, a drag screen is when you're both coming down the court and you've got player 5 who comes down the court and then sets a screen for the ball handler. The ball handler would then pop around that screen and player 5 would usually run through the screen. This wouldn't be a roll off. It could be, but usually this is a screen and then continue through towards the basket. Player 1 would then look to pass him the ball or drive towards the rim. Now, this next screen is used a lot in the Horns offense, and this is the elbow get. So we're going to have player 1 pass into player 4, and at the same time there's a screen happening on player 4 who would then catch that ball split foot, and then he would then attack the rim. So going a bit quicker, the elbow get, which is the screen we're talking about, basically that ball goes over, player 4 catches it, and then attacks that rim. Now, there's the flare screen. The flare screen is a screen that the Raptors used a ton with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. So basically what we would have is player 4, usually this is how it would start, at least with the Raptors, but player 1's going to get the ball either way or have the ball. But let's say it's the Raptors, player 1 would then get that ball. Player 5 would set that flare screen, which is the ball away screen, to the player who was originally at the point. This is the point. And now player 4 is going to use that screen and he's going to cut towards the rim. Now, we've seen this a lot with the Toronto Raptors a couple of years ago, where we would have the pass up. This would be DeMar DeRozan, the pass up to Kyle Lowry, and then player 5 would set that screen, and at this point, player 1 would pass to player 4. And this was actually ran quite often at the point where we would have DeMar DeRozan up top. He would pass over to Kyle Lowry, and then the flare screen would then happen, and player 1, Kyle Lowry, would dribble up to the point. And at this point, they would do an alley-oop slam dunk to DeMar DeRozan. Now, the flex screen is a post screen away for the wing player. Player 1 usually, to initiate with this, would pass to player 3. Player 4 would then set that screen on player 3 red. Player 5 would then cut towards the basket and hoping for an alley-oop or a post-up in that side of the key. So this next type of screen is a floppy screen. So basically what a floppy screen is a double screen, not a staggered screen, but a double screen away, and then another player setting a screen on the other side to confuse the defense. This is something that we see the Golden State Warriors do a ton, and actually I'm breaking down the Golden State Warriors tomorrow, and we're going to be seeing this a ton. So basically, to initiate this, usually we're going to have a pass up to the point or out towards the wing. We're going to have a player at least at the point with the ball. At this point, we're going to have a player who goes into the key. We're going to have player 5 setting that screen down. And then we're going to have player 2 and 4 come together for a double screen. And at this point, player 3 is going to use that double screen, hoping to get his defender caught. And player 3 is going to pop up for that 3-point shot. Now, this is useful because, of course, he could use that double screen. He could also use player 5 as a screen as well, and then also on top of that, he could use player 5 as a screen, have player 3 cheat over top, cut back down, and that could be an easy layup. So then there's also the UCLA screen. We're going to have player 1 pass over to player 3, and at this point we would have player 5 setting that screen for player 1 who's going to be cutting towards the basket. Basically, this is a pass to the wing, and then a screen from the post, and then player 1 cutting towards the basket. And of course, there is the screen and roll and screen and pop, where player 5 would screen and roll or screen and pop up top for a 3-point shot. Now, of course, there are tons of more different screens that you're probably going to hear of in the future. I might do an advanced screen set of videos as well, so let me know if you want to hear about those. But anyways, these are kind of the basics that there are in the game. If you've enjoyed today's video, hit that like button and subscribe. And of course, if you wanted to have a more advanced screen video, let me know, because there's a lot more advanced screens that you may hear of once you start going to the higher, late high school or college or university or professional levels. I'll see you guys again next time.